Welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody. Excuse me, I'm Don James. I'm glad to have you guys back on another Tuesday night. We got a wild and wacky show tonight. It's going to be fun. The last two shows have been just me doing my thing. You know, as the college football season's come to an end as far as regular season goes, and bowl games will be played very, very shortly. It's recruiting season, very, very heavy right now. Lots of recruiting going on right now, so that's going to be fun to watch, and that's something we're going to get into tonight. We're going to have Ryan Jordan coming on from Sun News and Macon Telegraph. He's going to tell us a little bit about, you know, the saga going on, excuse me, with Mr. The big-time quarterback, Jacob Eason, the saga going on with him. We're going to talk to him about Kirby Smart, the hire at Georgia, and we're going to talk to him about SEC football. I think Alabama has a chance to make the title game, make the national title game and possibly win the title too. So we are going to have a loud, jam-packed show tonight. We're going to talk about Christian Kirk, who won Freshman of the Year from Texas A&M. Also going to talk about all the head coaching going on right now, the shakes and bakes and moves. All the teams are pretty much filled in right now. There's still some assistant coordinating jobs going on, but there's still going to be some shake-up. I know the Navy head coach is still possibly looking at switching jobs, and NFL guys will be winding down with their season, so you'll see some of them go and come. And we're going to talk about that, head coaching. We're going to talk about the 2002 recruiting class tonight as well. I got into it a little bit last week. Didn't have a special guest, Jim Cobern, on to talk about it. So I'm going to bring him on to talk about the 2002 recruiting class, which is led by former Texas quarterback Vince Young. We're going to have a Q&A for the fans. There's always a couple poll questions I'll pick out from NGSC Sports or myself on Twitter, and I'll use those as well. Senior Bowl will be something we'll be possibly talking about a little bit tonight, an NFLPA game, just to see on the college side where players are going to go, how they're going to do in certain games, and things like that. The College Football Awards, which I was able to attend, we'll talk about as well. College Football Awards are held in Atlanta at the new College Football Hall of Fame. It was a great time. Had a great time talking about it on Bill's show. Had a great time talking about it to everyone, really, because it was a really well put together award show. It was the first time I wasn't in Orlando. It was in Atlanta. So it was a fun time and a fun award show. We're going to get into that. The top 25, of course, with Ryan Swartz from Vibe.com. And we've been talking a little bit about the controversy tweet between Big Black and Tate Martell, the quarterback. I kind of started that a little bit. So I guess I'll talk about that with him and Jim if he's on, or whoever, Ryan if he's still here, or if he's here early enough. And we'll talk about that. With Bishop Gorman, obviously they're done. They want to stay title, but they're getting chased. There's a lot of moves. So this is the last week for high school football. The last rankings that will come out. Texas and California, the only two teams left, states left rather, with teams in the playoffs still. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Top games from the past week, with Mr. Viejo and Mahadra, Bellarmine, who played Folsom. So we're going to talk about those two games. And we'll definitely talk about, like I said, the Helix and Mr. Viejo game as well. And we'll get into who he thinks he's going to win. And we'll get into a Final Four, which probably is a big shakeup because we had a mighty, mighty top 14 fall this weekend. It was crazy to think about that team. I won't talk about who they are yet, but they took a big L this weekend and they lost in the semifinals. So we're going to talk about that too. It's going to be a live back show, like I said. We got actually, a couple things we might get into at the end of the show. 2016 Heisman and what they thought about Derrick Henry's speech maybe tonight. the Rivals 100 class 2017 class that just came out. And recruiting battles just all over the country. Just a lot of teams in recruiting battles right now. A lot of new coaches, new faces getting together. So that's going to be something fun to talk about as well. But I want to start off with my top 25 and my top 4. Top 25 is led by Bishop Gorman High School out of Las Vegas, Nevada. They are still number 1. I think they are a legit team just because they don't play in California or Florida or Georgia or Texas. They're still one of the most elite teams in the country. So we're going to talk a little bit about Bishop Gorman when Ryan comes on and what he thinks about that. I think I know what he's going to say, but they're still my number 1 team right now. But, man, there could be some shakeups this weekend because Colquitt County moved up to number 2. I think they might claim a share of the title, possibly. We'll see what happens with Corona Centennial. I think that if Corona Centennial loses, Colquitt County should possibly share. I don't think Gorman's been so good this year that they would just destroy everyone like last year. They're still a really good team, but will they beat Colquitt County by more than 10? I'm not sure. So I would like to say it's a split because they're about even. If there was a betting wagers on these high school games officially in Vegas, and I think it would be about maybe 3 or 4 point spread, depending on where it's played. But which I would love to see that game, by the way. And Corona Centennial was number 3. They played De La Salle, who was in the state title game. That's going to be probably the biggest game of the weekend, in my opinion. Those 2 teams are predicted to play each other, and they are playing each other. So it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'll give you my prediction right now before Ryan comes on. I think Corona Centennial is going to beat De La Salle. Just had a weird feeling about De La Salle. I thought they would lose to Folsom, or maybe, if they got to play Corona Centennial and Del Bosco or something like that, they will lose. Always felt like they were a 2-loss, maybe 3-loss team, and that's what they are. I believe they will be, rather. They could very well beat Corona Centennial. I just think Corona Centennial is a little too fast. I think their superstar players are better. De La Salle is great up front, especially on offensive line, but I think De La Salle will take the loss. It's going to be a fun game, though, this weekend. I'll say that. Katy is number 4. Huge win for them this weekend. Katie's the team that's been taking care of business, rather. Steele, they beat them 38-0, which that defense is the best in the country, in my opinion. They didn't allow a first down in the second half. So I want to talk about a little bit of that game. They'll be playing Lake Travis, though, in Houston. Lake Travis out of Austin. That's going to be outside of the Corona Centennial De La Salle game. That's going to be the most fun. I'll say that because 2 contrasting styles. I mean, Lake Travis' offense is spectacular. Probably the best in the state. Maybe outside of Allen, who lost this weekend. But Katy, their defense is the best in the country and definitely the best in the state. There were 7 games this year where they didn't give up a touchdown. 9 where they only gave up single-digit points. They're one of the best defenses probably in Texas state history, or at least of recent memory. So that game's going to be in Houston, Ryan Stadium. I believe it's at 9 o'clock. It's on TV. If you're in Southwest or Texas area, definitely check that game out. That one's going to be, like I said, everything. I'll go. I just don't think Lake Travis is ready yet. I think Katy, this is their year. They've been really solid all year. I think it's going to be about 20-13. I think Katy's going to run the ball enough, and their defense is going to be good enough, especially stopping those Lake Travis wide receivers. All kind of similar wide receivers, not too big, just kind of slot guys, like all 3 of them. But they're really good, but they need space. They can't really create too much space. They need it, and I think Katy will do a good job at stopping that. The Wildcats will prevail. I believe they'll take the victory. Who else do I have in the top 5 through 25? De La Salle will be number 5. They obviously play Corona Centennial, like I said before. So that could be a fun one. They could very well be up. They're not going to be number 1 for sure, but they could be number 3. Well, the highest I could see them going is number 3. But we'll see. I don't know. Lake Travis could take a huge jump if they win this weekend as well. But Male is number 6, who are state champions of Kentucky, IMG Academy, St. Edward, Lake Travis, St. John Bosco, round out that top 10. Westlake, who Man, I mean, Westlake, they did the unthinkable. If you didn't hear a team that you've been hearing every week since I've done this show in the top 10, it's Allen, Texas. Westlake got the upset. They dominated, to be honest. They were by far the better team. I know there's some people saying that Allen's still a better team. They played 9 times with 2. Well, you had a whole week to prepare. This is football. This is basketball or baseball, anything like that. This is a different type of sport. You have a week to prepare. Team's pretty healthy. You just got caught. They tried to come back towards the end, and Sam Ehlinger threw 3 touchdown passes and a 23-17 defeat on Friday. That was my number 3 team in the country, and I thought they would win another state title. They didn't this year. Shout out to Allen, man. 57-game winning streak in any sport is great, but to have it be like that was just everything, everything that Westlake needed. Westlake is a program that, they took a loss to Lake Travis this year, but other than that loss to Lake Travis, they've been stellar. That's why I didn't mention that they might be better than Lake Travis. I know they lost to them, but I feel like right now that they're the better team. They're playing again. That's just me personally, but we'll see. They snapped a 57-game winning streak in Waco. They played in Houston. That's the game before the big one for Lake Travis. But this game versus North Shore is going to be fun. North Shore is a fast team, really athletic line. So, Westlake, they're a few plays away from possibly being a top 5 team towards the end of the year. I think that they beat North Shore by enough points. They could move into the top 7 or 8. I don't see them moving to the top 5. I guess it would take like a De La Salle loss and a Katy loss, and then they could possibly move into the top 5. And they would probably have to blow out North Shore. And I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but it could happen. We've seen stranger things like them beating Allen, so we'll see what happens with that one. Mission Viejo, is a team that I still think they're crazy, frighteningly underrated. USA Today doesn't have them in the top 25. Max Prep doesn't have them in the top 25 that I can recall. Not a lot of websites I've seen around. Smaller websites don't have them in the top 25. I think even the Orange County newspaper Register out there has kind of dissed them a little bit in the LA Times. I had them really low in the preseason, and they've just continued to be better and better. They finally get to play in their first state title. Mission Valley's never won a state championship before. They've been really close. They've been Buffalo Billing it the whole way, but they have a chance to finish the highest they've ever finished. And it's a weird thing. It's almost reminiscent to when K-State got to the Fiesta Bowl, maybe. And Bill Snyder, everyone thought he was done. He's retired. The team's not as good as they used to be anymore. They're kind of falling off. And they go have a Heisman candidate and appear in the Heisman Bowl game before they lost to Oregon that year. So I think Mission Viejo will win that game, even though it's basically a home game for Bellarmine in San Jose. They're playing this game in Santa Clara, which is really close. San with De La Salle, basically playing a home game. All these Northern California teams are obviously closer. They've been did it with Depot Center in Carson, California, up to Santa Clara. So, it's going to be tough, but I think Mission Viejo will win. I think it's going to be kind of a sloppy game, but I think they'll win. 31-15. I think Mission Viejo will pull out late and get off to a good enough start where they don't fall behind to this team that's really physical. Did a really good job versus Folsom. Up front, I noticed. I keep saying up front. The linebacker did a good job. The whole front seven was good. But up front, all these teams, a lot of them are air raid. You got to beat these teams up front because it doesn't take 3 or 5 seconds at the most to get that ball out and really sling it. Yeah, I just believe that Folsom, it was a better team than Bellarmine, but Bellarmine just matched up better. And we'll talk to Ryan, like I said, about that one. I think they just matched up better, man. You run into teams that maybe not better than you talent-wise. You've gotten so far, and you want to repeat and everything, but I think for San Jose shocked me. I thought they had no shot to win that game, to be honest. And, man, they did a good job. So great job by Bellarmine of San Jose. St. Thomas Aquinas is state champs. Well deserved, man. Another one, I guess.